It's got to be real. Be real. Be real.
Because it would have been easy for you to just say, you know what, this is too much pressure. Well, I'll leave it 3 months before I turn over pro. Let everything settle down. But no, you didn't. And you had those amazing shorts made, didn't you? With the English flag on one side and the Pakistani flag on the other side. The girls walked into the ring, one holding the English flag, the other holding the Pakistani.
No, for the first time it was just the British flag.
Was it just, right? Yeah, right. I've got that wrong, but that's dementia setting in. But I'll tell you what, I've never been in an atmosphere like it. I mean, I don't know what it was like for you, but that place was rocking.
You know, it was my first fight, and we sold 7,000 tickets in a world title fight, so we get that.
Yeah.
You know, 7,000 fights for my first professional fight. I think it was like unheard of, and it was live on ITV. So then a week before was the bombings that happened in London. So it was supposedly they say it was Muslim guys who did it, and it looked bad for Muslims. And me being a Muslim, fighting on Prescott TV, I wanted to show that look, not all Muslims are like that. Look at me. I had the British flag, rising. And
I'll tell you what, he did an amazing job, this kid, because I know the pressure he was under at the time. So give him a massive round of applause for that. We'll skip forward now to your 13th fight, and then you're in for your first title opportunity for the Commonwealth title against a Scottish kid called Willie Limond, who happens to be fighting next Friday against another one of our friends, Curtis Woodhouse, up in Glasgow. And the Commonwealth title is up at welterweight there, and Curtis's British title. And you got a TKO in round 8.
I mean, the biggest setback for me was when I got beat by Prescott.
Well, we're going to come on to that in a sec, so...
I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Amir, but we've got to talk about the bad times as well as they go.
I mean, I'm a boxing fan, I love talking about what's made Amir Khan, and if we can talk about that.
That Prescott fight was 14 months after the limit. Went through about 4 or 5 defences, I think, didn't you? But it was about 14 months, I think, after the Prescott. 54 seconds in, and it's all over. It's got to be that you were caught cold. There can't be any other reason for it, is there?
This is boxing, and when people ask me that question, look, what was it like? You got knocked out in just less than a minute. So look, this is the sport we're in. I mean, it's the toughest sport in the world. One punch can change fight. I could be winning the fight and then got knocked out in the last round. But look, with my losses, it's always been early. I'm glad it happened in the first round, because I'd rather get knocked out in the first round than go 12 rounds of taking a beating, because that's what beats a lot of fighters. But look, I put my hand up, and Prescott, he caught me with a good shot. I didn't recover from it. Caught me cold.
Did you ever consider a rematch, Amir?
Yeah, we tried, but then he went off the scenes. I mean, I think he's retired now or something. I mean, I've not heard from him for a long time. We tried to get a rematch as well, because I know what mistakes I made. I mean, I was leading with the wrong shots. I tried to go for that big knockout, and for myself. And the mistake, that's one thing I can say, you probably make more mistakes when you try knocking an opponent out yourself. I tried to go for the knockout and I got caught with a shot. So it was a great learning curve for that.
It's a testament to you, I mean, that you can be honest about these things. Some boxers have always got an excuse.
No, definitely. I mean, I got no excuse. He was the better man that night, and that kind of made me the man I am. If you think about it.
All of those fights were lightweight division, and for the uninitiated, lightweight is 9 stone 9 pounds.
That's right.
What would you say your walking about the street weight is? Casual time, not in a training camp?
No. Oh, is that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've matured since then. You're filling out.
About 158.
Yeah.
158 pounds.
But now you're up to welterweight, so we're looking at 10.5 stone that you can fight at from 9.9, aren't you? Yeah. When you stepped up to light welter, which is 10 stone, was it just a case of your body maturing, Amir? Or was it your body telling you, I can't do 9.9 anymore, what's the point killing myself?
I think that's what it was. It was my body was telling me, look, I can't make that weight. Look, even if I did make the weight, I wouldn't be strong at it, because I was killing myself making a 9 stone 9 pounds weight category. So I moved up to 10 stone, and them few pounds make a massive difference. And it's all like water weight and everything. So it made a massive difference. And my first fight at that weight was for a world title.
Yeah, and we're coming on to that now. So your big chance comes along. It's for the WBA title, July 2009. Tell me.
Before then, I'll put another fight in. After the loss against Prescott, they put the
Barrera
Barrera
fight,
fight, and they said, "Would you take that fight against Barrera?" I mean, a lot of people didn't want me. I mean, thought I'd never win that fight because Barrera is a former 5-6 world champion, and they said, "Why are you, after a loss like Prescott, going to go in the ring and fight someone like Barrera who's going to take you apart?" I said, "Look, it's the only fight for me that can take me back where I need to be.
Yeah.
If I didn't take that fight against Barrera, then I think it would have taken me a long time to get
the
back
chance.
to that,
to get
that
the
big
chance. Yeah.
So I got that fight, and luckily, we won that fight.
Yeah.
And then that's when we were back on where we had to
Then
be.
back on track.
And that's when I went and fought.
You got the unanimous decision over 12 rounds. Is it possible to explain your emotions at the end of that fight? It's your first world title.
Yeah, first world title fight, best feeling ever. My dream was always to win a medal in the Olympics and also then go and turn professional and win a world title. When I won a world title, it was like the best feeling, honestly. All that hard work you do in the gym, all the morning runs. You wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, you're freezing cold. I mean, it's not the best weather in England, but you wake up in the morning and it's still pitch black. Outside, still get up, you do the mountain run, you do the hill runs and stuff, or you go to swim baths and do your swimming sessions, and then you go home. You're on a strict diet, so your friends are with you and they're having cheeseburgers and chips and you're on salads. I mean, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And it was hard. I mean, it's never easy. I mean, that's why boxing is the toughest sport, because we have to do so much training, and then you're in the ring one-on-one with an opponent. I mean, and you can't blame anyone. You can try to blame anyone, but you're the one to blame, really, because you're the one who's controlling. You're the one in control.
Well, fast forward a couple of years to 2011, and I want to talk to you about this controversial loss against Lamont Peterson. 2 points deducted, which actually proved to be critical when it came to the scorecards. Looking back now, we're looking back 3 years. Do you look at it with different perspectives now? Do you understand why the referee did what he did, or do you still think you were hard done by?
I think I was hard done by. If you look, I've seen the fight over and over again, and I mean, I even spoke to Lamont Peterson's trainer like a couple of years after, and even he said, "Look, you was done in that fight." I was fighting for the IBF title. It was vacant at the time. No, sorry, I had won the fight. I had won the IBF title.
That's right.
Zabjuda.
Yeah.
So I was defending that against the mandatory guy, which was Lamont Peterson. So they said that they wanted to fight in Washington DC, and I'm like, look, I'm the champion. Why am I going to your venue where you've got your judges, your referees?
Yeah.
Why can't we not go to Vegas or go to England? But they don't want to do that. So me being the fighter I am, I said, look, I'll go anywhere and fight him. So we went to we went to DC. We got the fight there, and it was a tough fight. Look, it was a very competitive fight. I put him down twice in the first round, and they were clean knockdowns, but they only gave him one knockdown there.
Yeah.
And then he was hitting me below the belt. I mean, after the fight, I was pissing blood. I mean, that's how below the belt he was hitting me. But I mean, it was a tough time for me, because when I remember when it come to the end of the fight, and I put my hands up. He didn't put his hands up because he probably knew that he lost the fight. But before that, I mean, you had the referee who grabbed all of me and said, "Look, you're putting his head down." So he took 2 points off me.
Yeah.
So then I knew I had to push it a little bit harder, and it was still a close fight. So I thought maybe he might be up by 1 point. I have to just push it a little bit, get those points back in a way.
But again, when the knockdowns, if they scored it at 10-7, for
then
instance,
it would have been probably even yet. But then after that, in the last round, which I've never seen happen. I mean, they knew the fight's going to be very close. They're taking the points off me, and literally like a minute before the bell.
Yeah.
And that is unheard of. And even like Oscar De La Hoya was sat there and he said, "Look, why are you taking the points off?" I mean, he was screaming. You had Richard Schaefer screaming. And they said, "Look, this is really bad." I mean, everyone knew I'd been ripped off, but look, I put my head up still and said, "Look, fine, whatever happens. It's just made me a stronger person from it."
But typical Amir Khan, you don't do things the easy way.
I know, man.
Your next fight, you get yourself in an absolute
Yeah.
12-minute war
Yeah.
with Garcia.
I did.
Now,
You know, I blame myself that fight. And not a lot of people know, but that Garcia fight was offered to me. So it was meant to be the rematch against Peterson.
Yeah.
So then he got caught taking drugs. He failed his drug test, and admits that in the first fight he was taking the same substance, which was testosterone.
Yeah.
So he kind of admits it, but still, the commission didn't want to change the decision. They just kept it as a loss. So I never argued about it. So what happened was, so I was training for that Lamont Pizza rematch for about 10 weeks. I find out a week before that fight's called off, and I was in training camp, and I'm like stressed out now, thinking, bloody hell, I need a holiday, man. I want to just get away. You know, because spending the time in training camp, it's not a nice place. I mean, you're so bored, you're away from your friends, your family. So I went home for a week, then I get a phone call saying, look, Amir, we can give you a undisputed unification fight, which is going to be against
Garcia.
Danny Garcia. I said, look, I'll take it. Just want to get a fight over with, so that way I know I've had a fight and I can go on holiday and But it was just a long camp, so I had to go back to training camp again. So overall, my whole training camp was for like 17 weeks training camp, which is too long. I think I probably did too much training. I was burnt out really. But I mean, Garcia was a fighter who caught me with some good shots in the fight. I mean, he caught me in, what round was it? In the second?
You got caught in the
Caught me
second.
in the second with a
stopped
shot, with a left hook. And I look back and I think, why the hell was I throwing an uppercut from here to there? I mean, I threw an uppercut. I don't know what I was trying. Well, I think I was looking like a Nazim shot or something.
Yeah.
But I threw a long uppercut and he caught me right with the left hook. Timed it well, man.
Yeah.
And so he caught
but
me.
you see, again, I just admire your spirit, because there's a lot of fighters after 2 fights. One, a big disappointment because you think you were robbed. You then end up with somebody brought in at the last minute and you end up in a proper bloody tear up, and that doesn't go right for you. I know many boxers that would have probably said, you know what, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
You get up and come back even stronger.
Yeah.
What inspires you to do that, I mean?
I think it's just the way I've been from a young age. I mean, I've had a lot of criticism. I've had a tough career, you know. I mean, I've done things so that, you know, I've been very young. At age 17, went to Olympics, won a medal, but still got criticised for it. I'm still getting criticised and people talking rubbish and stuff. But look, I've always had it, and I knew that if I ever get beat in the professional ranks, I'll still get criticised. So in a way, that made me so strong.
Yeah.
And I've seen the likes of Hamdali. He was beaten 5 times. Mike Tyson, all of them, they all got beat. So if they can come back, then why can't I come back? And so I made a lot of changes, like, you know, trainers move from one trainer to another trainer, and that kind of helped me big time. But not many people would put their hand up and say, look, I made a mistake, and I'm gonna come back stronger. I mean, I've done that 2-3 times.
Give him a round of applause.
Get on,
right?
man.
That's the spirit. That's the fighter's spirit. You're now up at welterweight.